Markelov can continue to deliver. Because right now, Markelov, he's given us the star performance. He has definitely stood out on the first map. But where was the rest of his team, Anders? What can we expect from him here on Cobblestone?
Yes, I don't know. I'm a bit worried. I feel like Train was probably their chance to do it. Cobblestone, I mean, this new addition, obviously, the stairwell that goes up there didn't used to be there. The arching wall sort of used to extend all the way into the castle wall. So now, a bit different. I think Ment's supposed to be helping out the CT side. I'm not sure it does.
Yeah, I feel like we still need to see a little bit of play on it to really start getting an idea of just which side it, or like what it has actually created. But for now, at least on the CT side, you know, you can kind of dance up and around. You don't need to boost up there anymore, and so it can mean good things. Markelov going to start things off strong. That's a good thing for Flipside. Waylander also getting into the action. And between the two of them, they do manage to pick up 2 kills. But Nex is going to bring it back, and Markelov is down to 1 HP.
Yeah, and Shara, I think, maybe overextending a little bit there. Good job from Blade helping out. Markelov he just stay alive here. If they haven't used any grenades on him yet, they probably don't have any. So I would say just wait and let them use a lot of time and resources on worrying about this position. But Waylander coming in, picking up another kill for himself, and Speedy all on his own here, you know, 1 on 3. Not exactly a great position, especially because he did have a very tough first map here. Not exactly his best day.
This is unreal. Markelov still alive, Blade as well. All 3 players now just gathered up here for Flipside. And Speedy, he's got 3 bullets. There's 1, but Markelov will find the kill. Markelov 2 kills and spends most of that round on 1 HP and somehow lives through it. Unreal. When it looked so good for Mousesports at the start, but this was just early aggression. There's the flash that comes out from Flipside. They start peeking into it, and then just between the two of them, Shara, Waylander, and Markelov, they were just doing work.
We'll see if that's going to set them off on a nice path here. Obviously, playing on the CT side of this map, you really, really want the best start possible. It's so hard to get CT rounds. If they can make this a quick 3-0, I think that's going to at least make them breathe a little bit easier. Blade alone, though, over here. Actually, almost no backup with this MP7.
Making some noise for now. It's actually going to force Blade to throw down that smoke maybe a little bit earlier than he would like. And so we'll see if they can actually get this going for themselves here. Mousesports, they have invested in the round with no bomb plant. It is going to be Tech 9 Kevlar, handful of nades to work with. And now that they've got, well, control of mid, control of connector and drop room here with Nico, things get interesting. So Nico now has the chance to just split this defense in 2. There's still 2 players over here on the A side for Flipside, though. That is Blade and World Edit. And so the defense is still solid, but with a minute left on this clock, it looks like Mousesports, once they got control of halls, once they got control towards that A site, they want to shift things around and head back towards B, perhaps to play off of Nico with this drop control.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty reasonable idea. Especially because if they do end up going down to the plateau, if anyone rotates incorrectly around Nico, that he could hear them and he can maybe even find a good kill on someone. So it's not a bad, I think, idea to try to use him as the center of this strategy, but he's going to go down immediately. Markelov finding a kill on him. Shower close range with the UMP. Not going to be picking up a kill on Chris then. And oh, look at that. Chris picking up 1 more shot with a Tech 9. A bit of a problem here. For Flipside, Grenade is going to, I think, go a little bit too far. Not really get any damage on anyone there. 3 on 3 with no bomb plant. Actually, Blade going down too.
That's the bomb dropped out in the middle of nowhere as well. So World Edit might have just picked up like the MVP kill. He's going to go for the big spray, pick up 1. He will get overwhelmed in the end, but Markelov is there to restore order. 3 kills for him at the end of the round, and you can see Blade breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief there, or a huff of frustration, just because that is just way too close. Look at how aggressive they are. Chris with some crazy shots. That second one onto Waylander is nuts.
Shut up! Yeah, then say that you smoked up. Shut up!
Just,
Shut up.
Oh, yeah. Is that
Mousesports? This is some old school. I mean,
is that Nico shouting at me?
Yeah, this is how it can get on well, both of these teams actually.
Yeah,
have a history of, like, you know, getting a bit heated in the game, a bit shouty.
It's one of these things that it happens on, I think, almost every level of Counter-Strike, and it's such a bad habit. But people tend to end up discussing the round that was just played way too much, as opposed to saying, oh, that was a failed round, let's move on. And obviously that round, because the bomb being down like so far away, or grenade, they're gonna walk on it. That might as well have been a landmine here. Just 3 people drop very low because of it, and they still have Blade at this bomb site, so even getting out here is not gonna be too easy. They don't have any armor, so these shots, look at that, he actually took out Nex A lot of damage being dished down here. Blade trying to deny the bomb plant. He's going to be successful. That's a very nice defense from him. Such a good start, but not a good finish here. 3-0 in favor of Flipside.
Yeah, perfectly done so far, at least with the 4 players surviving in that round now. More kills going with the MP9. More money.
Like just to finish that point, it's if you wanted to be a professional player and you're playing a lot of matchmaking, you're playing on like ESC or Faceit or whatever you're playing on, you know, you should search yourself and say, do I have this mentality of wanting to debate the round that we just failed in forever? Because if you do, then get rid of it. Like it really won't help anything. And in fact, even at a really high level, some players will always be worse players just for having that in them. But it's obviously super hard because it's part of your personality, right? It becomes sort of just part of what you do, but it's not very helpful.
You just dwell, right? And that is, yeah, that. I mean, it's good to offer constructive criticism, like, hey, by the way, notice this tendency. But yeah, there's definitely something there. Well, speaking of which, Molotov here on World Edit, and he gets completely caught out by Chris J. So there's the opening for Mousesports, at least. Starting off strong. And Nico, once again, hanging around and drop. This is just what he does. Losing to Waylander, though, that's not something that happens very often. So a 4-on-4 situation now between both of these teams.
Quite important, I think, for Mousesports to pick up this this 4th round here. They don't want to give too much of an edge. That's a great shot from Nex. It actually looked like the plant there was covering Blade, but it just wasn't. And Nex following up with a pretty stunning headshot on Markelov mid-air as well. And Waylander and Shower, no point in fighting any longer. Just might as well try and save, even if they don't have a lot.
For Shara, at least. Shara could try and go out. Yeah, there we go. Finds the AK. That's all he was hoping for.
Yeah.
Could try and, you know, trade up with the UMP, maybe find another kill, but if you already have an AK waiting for you, that works out just fine. And so they will be able to survive this round here, both players, it looks like. Considering Mousesports right now need to be thinking about their economy. They don't really need to be going for the aggressive hunt so much, although, surprisingly low money on Flipside, considering they won all 3 of the first, well, I mean, they won the consecutive rounds afterwards. They don't really have that much of a bank.
Yeah, I mean, that one round where Chris got the double with the Tech-9, they lost so many players in. It was Markelov alone, and that's just what makes the really big difference here. Look at this shot from Nex. That's so good.
From his perspective, right. It's actually Blade that helped him out. You know, shot the pod out of the way.
It seemed like it, right?
And then Nex is just like, thanks, bud.
3-1. So Mousesports managing to bring it back in that round. The AWP World Edit has his as well. We'll see if we could get a bit of a fight between Chris and World. I'm definitely interested to see if Chris is going to continue on the form that he had on Train, because that was terrifying.
That was perfect. I mean, they're going to need it. Oh, but he looks away on scopes just as World Edit goes for the peek into mid, and that's going to be so... Well, I mean, he just has no idea that he missed an opportunity there, Chris. If he watches the demo later, though, he might kick himself just a little bit.
Yeah, he could have got killed as well, I think. Almost walking into World Edit's line of view. A little bit worrying. Mousesports very far back on the map, in fact. Uncharacteristically far back. Normally, you want to check and see if no one's boosting and drop, you know, from the CT side, something like that. Sometimes they seem to be more or less ignoring that. Nico's sort of playing around there, but hasn't been paying too much attention either. Finally going to go back up and check here on a good opening frag. World Edit taking out Nex, and look at how exposed he is here, just out in the open, not worrying about anything.
Some confidence right now. Flash is going to go in, though, and he doesn't pull the trigger. He would have had Chris J dead to rights. This is some crazy, weird battle where both of these players are just dodging, getting shots on each other. Waylander, though, will win the duel versus Nico in drop room again. And so now, well, things get tricky for Mousesports. They're down 2 guys. They're no closer to getting onto a bomb site. And Flipside, they've just basically spread out across the map. They know it could go either way at this point, B or A. Markelov is inching his way closer, kind of cheating over towards A. It seems like that's where they've got their heart set, Mousesports, in any case. They're going to be charging up towards that A site. Bomb leading the way. That's on Spitty, going for a couple of peeks, but we'll see. Can he actually find the shot to open things up here?
Very, very hard for them to win this 3 versus 5, especially because we only have about 13 seconds left as well. They're picking up 1 more kill, and second one as well, making it a 3rd overall, and a 4-1 scoreline. And Mousesports instantly reset. No bomb plant either, and they didn't even get that many kills, so they can't even easily justify a force up here, even if 2 of them could buy AKs and a 3rd with a Galil. It's still hard to do. Like, if they'd got 4 kills in that round, I think they would have done it, but because they don't have that, it might not be worth it. Yeah, and it does look like they're going to just go for the kind of half buy going into it. Pistols, Kevlar.
couple nades to work with here for Speedy. And while this is, I mean, this is as good as it gets, the start here for Flipside. Now they have a chance to really just crush Mousesports economically. If they can start building that bank early on here, Flipside. On that CT side of Cobblestone, it's so important. You need your nades. But there's the flick shot. World Edit not going to hit it, but he gets the follow-up on Dennis. And then that opens it up for Blade to go for a peek. He hangs around a bit too long, though. Will get traded. So a man advantage now for Flipside going into the retake, but World Edit still alive, and Waylander's going to be there to deny the bomb plant. So it's all on Nico now, and he only has the 4 HP. He's not going to get much past that. 2 kills, but no bomb plant makes this kind of a frustrating round for Mousesports, just because they still, I mean, that bonus $800 that each of the players would have got if they'd got the plant and lost the round would have made the big difference here. They could have all got the full nades across the board. Now, a couple of them are going to be a little light. They have to skimp.
It definitely makes a big difference. And I mean, for one thing as well, it means no head armor for Chris J. And normally we tend to say if you're playing on the CT side, that's not such a big deal. But on the T side, it definitely is. One of those M4s could take him out. They got 3 of them right now. So without the head armor, he's a one-click essentially. Doesn't really matter for Dennis, since he's going to run into World Edit's AWP. And that's a good start for Flipside.
And that is, I mean, Chris J basically focused on underpass, where World Edit was peaking in the last round. Now World Edit showing that he's a versatile opera, that he can change up his positioning, make it more difficult for the T side to predict where he's coming from. That is a mark of a top-tier opera. So glad to see that he's delivering here on this second map. But score is still 5-1, Flipside in the lead, and Mousesports now down a man. We have to see, can they come up with something magical here? Because Waylander so far has been so effective versus Nico in this drop defense.
He has been winning a lot of these fights, but not this time. And it looked like the sort of fight that Nico shouldn't have won, just because when you're jumping up on that ledge, your recoil is going to be offset just a little bit here. But it is a 3-on-3. Shara in a good position to try and stop this B plant. Even if they lose Blade right now, Shara could potentially win the round. See if they remember to check it. They don't have any Molotovs, and Shara just way too quick with the peek. You got to wonder about that. If he stays in the corner, might have been a much better chance there. Flash goes through, and Chris going to be taking him out. Blade spraying furiously and picking up 1, and it's down to Nex. 30 seconds and a 1-on-2.
Oh, on that delayed flash. Now things get interesting here. World Edit and Blade both together, and World Edit just not missing a shot. 3 kills for him. And the last round as well. I mean, this guy, now that he's got his AWP, look at him, 12-0-3. He's taking off right now versus Mousesports. There's no Chris to really go toe-to-toe with him like we saw on Train. Instead, he's just proven to be this incredibly versatile opera right now, at least in the past couple rounds, just being very difficult to predict. And yeah, Nico, it didn't look like it was like a full jump. It looked like it was like a half jump. He managed to get his feet back down those wooden planks pretty quick.
Yeah, I think maybe he cancelled the arc of the jump by getting up there. Something weird like that. 7-1, and well, Nico charging in, and he was probably hoping someone would follow him, but the Molotov meant that was never going to happen. Yeah, this is a terrifying start for Mousesports. This seems even worse than on Train in some ways, especially because of how CT side of this map normally is. And I don't even think we could say, because we did point out that, you know, there was the new stairwell being added. That doesn't even seem to have anything to do with what's happening right now. Like, there's not been any fights that's been decided by that stairwell. So right now, I think Flipside just maybe angry at the loss of the first map in overtime. In overtime, yeah. And this, I mean, this is actually, I mean, given the frustration as well that's being shown from Mousesports when you're actually shouting "shut up" at each other, you know, that's, you just won the first map. Like, you guys are supposed to be the ones who are pumped up and ready to go. It shouldn't be Flipside who are just, you know, stomping you into the ground. Yeah, just to point out, I mean, one team that I know of that have historically been quite good at this is Astralis, even before they were Astralis. Really, really good at sort of shutting down any discussions between rounds. I've heard them say it multiple times. They just say, we'll take that when we review the map. Just stop talking about it, and then everyone stops, you know. And that's really how it should be. Good opening frag, and again, and it's almost no surprise at this point, it's World Edit, and he takes out Chris. So a bit of a strong start here again. Flipside seem to be unstoppable in the first 8 rounds here, 9 rounds almost. The frustration is going to be mounting for Nico just because he hasn't really been able to have that big impact. Waylander has shut him down in 2 key rounds over at drop. Last round he managed to create an opening, but he's got to do it. And once again, Waylander bests Nico, and it's a 2-man advantage here for Flipside. Mousesports no closer to getting onto the bomb site. That's interesting because Nico, I think, has a sort of a history of taking out almost everyone in that drop zone. So I don't know what Waylander has discovered that makes him able to take that fight. But it is a bit fun to see. Dennis trying to move forward here with the AWP, spots out the one player, and now we see Shara finally using this stairwell, but the instant Molotov's coming in, trying to force him out, actually. That's such a shame. Speedy finally trying to make a contribution, and it ends up being just crisping his teammate with the Molotov, and he goes down a world edit. Dennis, last man alive, and he goes down. It's just incredible. Triple kill for world edit. He seems to be utterly unstoppable here. Right now, rocking a 15-0-3 scoreline.
Oh, and he sees the gun barrel from Chris J as well. Yeah, you can see Chris J, I mean, the frustration evident. He is not going to be happy about that.
Just because we're talking about it anyway, about sort of, I think we do have a bit of a tactical timeout as well, probably here from Mousesports, but sort of bad habits that players do. There are definitely people who will want to discuss how a round went bad, and they will sort of, and that discussion will flow into the next round. So you can't even focus on that round because you're still talking about what would have been different if someone had done something differently, or what the mistake was. That could be very damaging to a team. The other thing that a lot of players suffer from, and I'm definitely not immune to this, is making excuses for why something went wrong. You take a peek against someone and you lose it, and then instead of just essentially shutting up, you start saying, oh, he was so lucky, if only this thing hadn't gone wrong, I can't believe it. Like, all these excuses don't help anything anyway, and it's really frustrating for your teammates in the long term. So there are some things like that. It's a sign of Counter-Strike that we don't talk about that much, and it's a bit of a shame, because it really makes a big difference. You could be a very, very good player, and if you have some or all of these characteristics, it will still be very hard to play with you. And that I'm sure if we did the interviews with some of the top players, we would. The problem is you can't really name names, can you? You can't go and say, yes, this one teammate I have who's it's actually quite annoying, but it does happen.
I guess unless Sato's asking the questions, right? And then anything goes.
Just straight. Maybe we just need to wire all of them up, get all the conversations recorded.
It's just right now I'm really wondering where this is coming from on Mousesports. This just frustration. They can't seem to just calm down and get their head straight. I mean, look at Dennis, head in hands. That shouldn't be happening.
World edit once again very aggressive over here, and Mousesports seem to be aware of it on the other side, although they only have Tech-9s and 5 of them. Used to be that this would make everyone really scared, because every time someone did the 5 Tech-9s, just charge in, it would work. But not against World Edit, it seems. And obviously the tactical timeout is not specifically for this round, it's for the upcoming round that they're worried about. So very interested to see what they could maybe show us.
I'm a bit surprised that they aren't just committing a flash to that control of Longhouse. Why aren't they just getting that flash in there to actually force World Edit off the angle if he happens to be there? They are light on nades, so you can understand. Markelov is going to catch Nico. And so Speedy and Dennis, the last 2 alive, and World Edit, he happens to know that somebody's there. The smoke goes down, and through the smoke, oh, he's going to get it right over the shoulder. Hoping to get lucky, and there will be a punish here possible for Dennis. Speedy's taking out Shara in the meantime, but Markelov, he's going to be, well, no, it's World Edit, just robs him. 3 kills for World Edit in this anti-eco.
And Speedy to go down as the last in the round. World Edit just continuing. What's that now? 18 kills on him, I think?
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem to really stop for him right now. 9-1 is the scoreline at Flipside. I mean, if they had won the first map and then they go into this, I mean, it would sort of make sense, but they lost in overtime. That's going to be so frustrating. And still they're just continuing.
18-3.
153 ADR, just to point that out.
That's a monster contribution.
That's a little bit, yeah.
I mean, now, well, Chris, let's see if the infighting is going to continue or if he can get his head in the game and start trying to take a fight with World Edit, who's once again changing up his position, this time looking in from danger, slowly canvassing the area. Chris is scoped up, and who's going to spot who? Nobody, in fact. Chris manages to make it to safety just in the nick of time, but the flash goes down, and point blank, World Edit picks up 1, nearly gets the second, but he's saved by Blade, missed that shot, and now he knows that the wrap is coming. He's heard the footsteps.
One of those shots that looked so easy for World Edit that maybe it was just a little bit too much here. Tries to get the close nose scope. They don't know he's there. Finally, Chris coming through with a kill, and Blade out in the open, going to get picked up as well. Good double for Chris. Maybe give him a little bit of confidence here. We're still in a 3-on-3. And no bomb plant has happened, obviously. Mousesports slowing it down quite a bit.
What a remarkably ugly exchange.
There was, wasn't it?
That was pretty bad. I mean, just all over the place, really. Blade not being able to trade 1-for-1 either actually hurt things, well, hurt the defense significantly, seeing as how Flipside, I mean, now they have to spread out so much. Mousesports even have nades to use. Nico putting one to use over here and drop. Gives him some room to work with. Just checking to make sure that Waylander isn't hanging around here to ruin his day again. But with both players, I mean, Flipside right now, they seem to be gambling. They're gambling on that B site. They've put Markelov alone over on A, but there's 2 players here waiting on B, and they're so far away with the rotate. And now Nico, he's going to infiltrate. He's going to get into connector.
Oh.
This is brutal. Well, this is perfect for Mousesports.
There's one problem. Markelov has a Molotov, so if he actually puts it up on his left-hand side here before they get in, but Nico's going to be there, and that was the one thing that could sort of ruin that. But if you look at the time, only 7 seconds left. If he just puts up that Molotov and goes to defend it, and Nico doesn't make it through in time, the round probably dies with the Molotov. But Wayland are going to be going down here. Nico doing a lot of work in this round, and it's him and Chris left. Shara alone in a 1-on-2, and good headshot there. Is he going to try and see if he can clutch it? Still hasn't reloaded. Going to be charging in on Chris, who's in a weird position right now. Still going to get the kill, and that's a triple here. There was a smoke, just to point out, on Shara, which could have maybe gone for a defuse.
We're going to get the, well, point blank again here from World Edit, who misses the follow-up. And yeah, do they just not realize? Oh, well, that was after like a couple shots coming in from World Edit. But yeah, big round from Chris. 3 kills for him, but definitely far from the kind of performance that we saw from him on Train right now. On Train, it was between him and Nico, both of them topping 30 frags by the end of overtime. And just, well, monster plays coming in from Chris. No like easy anti-eco rounds, you know, just a lot of high-impact kills coming in for him.
Look at how disappointing this must be to Mousesports. You know, they finally win a round, and yet they're down to Galils and almost no grenades. You know, at least 1 Galil and not that many grenades, in spite of winning the round. That's how close it was. Obviously, a 1v1 at the end. So if Flipside had to lose a round, then at least they make it very, very expensive for Mousesports. And Terrorist side, they need to keep pushing.
And World Edit, he's just literally I mean, he seems to have total freedom right now. Blade is giving him everything because now he's over on A, or rather on B plateau. So Mousesports, you know, they may be moving their way away from A, thinking, well, okay, you know, let's go and see if we can't have any luck over here on the B side, maybe. Not part of the game plan, though. Mousesports continue to work their way towards A, but World Edit, he's still over here on B, so we'll see if he can actually find a pick. Eventually, Speedy going to drop, make a little bit of noise, perhaps. Waylander closing off the angle, and we'll see if he can actually find Speedy. Somehow it just doesn't work. There we go. And there's going to be the 1-for-1 trade, basically. Nico comes charging in.
I kind of like how Nico and Wayland have just sort of made this their own little game and drop about who's going to be coming out on top. But it seems like Nico is really tired of losing that fight and has just decided that he's going to win it instead. Blade going to be taken down next. That's a really good shot coming out and a really good kill, because now if they try and push onto the A-bomb side, they have to worry about Blade. But do they realize Markelov is here? This is kind of a mind game, and Shara is even moving in from the other side. So they're kind of trading places right now. But the bomb is going to be going down, and Blade drops to Chris. Somehow it feels like Mousesports have actually come out on top. Oh, what a kill.
No, Chris is definitely feeling it now. He has woken up. It's down to the 2 remaining players. Nico, he's going to be able to catch out World Edit for free here. World Edit with the repeat, not going to make it happen. Dennis has taken out Markelov in the meantime. And World Edit, 9 HP, knows he's not going to be able to make it out. And so Nico will eventually get that kill. But Chris, back-to-back huge rounds for him. So those 2 kills, I mean, he shuts down Blade here. That's a thing of beauty. But then the kill on Shara as well.
Yeah, I feel like that was ridiculous. That wasn't much of an angle, but and he got it to the side of the wall with a headshot. So 9-3. I mean, regardless, Flipside have done quite a lot in this first half here. But considering the comeback that Mousesports did on Train, maybe you just want to make sure that that's not going to happen again. Their money is kind of run out here, actually for both teams. So whoever wins this round might just pick up 2 for 1. Which is not that bad. World Edit here, trying to take a fight with Chris, who once again comes out on top.
And now, I mean, that's a key player over here on A, especially considering Flipside, they stacked B early. We were expecting some early aggression out of Mousesports, perhaps towards that B site. A change. But World Edit down means the rotation has to come out. That's Blade making his way back over there, and it's going to force Waylander to worry a little bit more about that connector area as well. So this could get nasty for him, but it seems like they count so, I mean, it's just so consistent that Mousesports actually come and check drop that Waylander, he's still just hanging around, and he'll get traded this time, and this time Speedy survives. So it's even better for Mousesports.
Nico really accepting the challenge from Waylander here and just continuously going into drop, and for the last 3 or 4 rounds he's been winning that fight straight up, and that's going to make a big difference. There's Markelov going down. Nico, maybe inspired by Chris also hitting a couple of shots, really opening up the round right now. Blade and Shara, I don't know if there's anything they can do at this point in time. 1 versus 4 for Blade, and they're even running to the A-bomb site, so just not a good time.
Oh, Nico, man. Triple kill for Nico. All of them beautiful. Yeah, big shots coming through for him, but Chris will spot it right on the edge. That is such a difficult kind of play, just because of the smoke. Sometimes, I mean, the way that it can work, it's just, it's so nasty. Like, you're just squinting, basically, trying to make any kind of movement out on the other side of the smoke. But World Edit has definitely had some trouble here. He has not had that. He kind of dropped off. I mean, he's at 19-0-6. I mean, it's kind of tough to ask the world of the guy, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a limit to how much one person could do, and you got to hope that someone from Flipside will start to step it up a little bit. It probably won't be this round, as you were pointing out. The money for Flipside just not there anymore, and it's 9-4 here. They are going to be able to buy for the 15th round, but right now it's a little bit sketchy. Just not that much equipment either, no grenades or anything on Flipside. I'm really not a big fan of the setup they've gone for here, having sort of people spread out all over the place. I feel like that's such a silly thing to try and do if you only have pistols.
Yeah, go for the stack again. It's crazy just how, I mean, this is just the key to Mousesports right now is the drop. They repeatedly come over here. Nico, once again, looking for that fight. This time around, Waylander actually has some help from Blade. So a small adjustment being made here from Flipside. They will eventually have those 4 players over on B, and they might actually rotate over a 5th. I mean, World Edit getting close to connector now, but there's Blade running headshot on a Nico. It's not Waylander this time. Nico's just going to be kicking himself, wondering.
Probably spawned another classic Nico face there, I think. A little bit annoyed. Chris crouching in very slowly here. Trying to edge out all of the angles, and Molotov on teammates as well, almost burning Dennis alive. A little bit of confusion, but Next coming in with a really good triple kill, and that's a nice way to settle around. Well, that it's trying to see if he could maybe find a deagle shot on someone, and well, Next is going to be his first victim. Could there be a second one? He's certainly looking for it. Dennis going to be going down as well, and there's finally an end to the madness. Blade going to be coming up from behind with a 5-7, but too many targets, and Chris will close the round out with just 5 seconds left there at the end. That was terrifying.
It's a little stressful. I think Chris there, he's like looking at his mates like, you know, guys, you dying to the guy with the 1 digs? I mean, Next, yeah, this is powerhouse kind of play. Very effective flash, obviously making life a little bit easier for him.
So watch out, guys, you can peek over mid-smoke again. Don't overextend there.
Well, 15th round is coming up here.
Chris is doing quite a bit of talking right now on Mousesports as well, which is interesting considering.
Yeah, and his rifle has been doing even more talking. He's got 12 kills, topping the scoreboard on Mousesports. Just 1 kill ahead of Nico at 11. 21 on World Edit, which still says a lot, even if he's cooled off a little bit. He did so much in the beginning, and we are in the 15th round, last of the first half here on Cobblestone. We'll see if Mousesports can continue. They do need every single round.
Yeah, that's the issue here for Mousesports. Pressure ratcheting up. Double op strategy for them, however, and we'll see. World Edit, easy kill. Picks off Dennis, takes his time with it as well, doesn't rush the shot. So a man advantage here for Flipside and a key round for Mousesports. And so now the nades actually have to go into underpass here to try and create some space, something to work with, but Flipside are going to be more than happy to try and buy some time. And they just sit and wait at this point. 2 on A, 3 on B, that's all that has to happen. And Nico, once again, this time with an AWP in drop. What is going on?
He just knows that he has Waylander's number at this point in time. He's just so confident. If he actually jumps into a drop alone with the AWP, that'd just be so badass, wouldn't it? It's the sort of stuff I want to see out of Nico, just because you're really not supposed to do that, you know?
It's like some JW stuff.
Waylander is right on the other side. This is this is so close that if you miss a shot with the AWP, you might not get a second one. He is sneaking in here, not realizing that Waylander's right there. He wants to help out his teammates, and he's going to get shot in the back. The Tech9's out, though. Took him time, but Waylander picking up the kill there, and Speedy and Next are going to be left 2 on 4. Seems like Flipside have a real good shot at picking up the 10th round for themselves here. Blade spraying and connecting, and that will be it. 10-5 in favor of Flipside for the first half. Very impressive.
Exactly. Dominant first half coming in here for Flipside. Gotta love the details there from Nico, though. Just knew every step that he had to take to not make noise. Even dropped the flash to cover the sound of him dropping down, his feet hitting the floor. And Weldon is just like, I don't even need to look at my teammate here. High five, have one.
Yeah, he's so ready for it. Well, I mean, it's still a very, very strong lead for Flipside. We'll see if they can close it out this time. They couldn't on train. When we come back in the second half, we'll find out if that is going to be the case or not. Oh, we got a bit of a crowd in the house as well. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have the second half coming up between Flipside and Mousesports. Definitely a good time. Are you ready for it, Semler?
I am ready for it, Anders. Is this the game right now?
Yeah, I love these Eleague mugs. And for once, I'm not even talking about Richard's face. We are going to head into it. 16th round.
Hey, the mugs, come on.
Nico and Waylander here did have a very long battle in drop, and it seemed like in the beginning Waylander just, no matter what happened, he'd win the fight. But then for a good 5 or 6 rounds in a row, it was Nico coming out on top anyway. But it wasn't enough to really help them have a good first half here. We're talking about a 10-5 scoreline right now on Cobblestone. Obviously, the difference to the map, I don't think it actually made a difference in this game at all. But, you know, maybe it has changed the balance. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Well, not wasting any time. Getting right into it. It is going to be Markelov hitting the headshot on next while blind. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Never mind, he was actually at the back. Instead, it's Dennis with 2 headshots. Markelov and Shara down over here on Plateau. And this is where Nico can get an edge. Just to comment on the point that you made, right, of between the duel between Waylander and Nico. About halfway through the half, Nico ended up bringing over Speedy and then using him as bait against Waylander. And just saying, Speedy, yeah, I'm the leader. You do what I say. Actually just stand here, get shot in the face, but then I'll kill Waylander and then it'll be all right. So sometimes some adjustments get made.
I feel like that's just some harsh leading, isn't it? You know, that's just brutal. But at the same time, maybe it's worth it. 1-man lead right now for Mouse, and looks like Flipside want to try and see if they can get into this A bomb site. Waylander going to be taking out Nico. That is a good start. Chris in the back line, not even sure what he's doing at the moment. I think confused about his own existence, and it's going to be Speedy and Dennis left 2 versus 3. The bomb is going to be going down, and Mousesports, how do they possibly retake this one? Speedy looking for a bit of an opening, trying to see if he can get just 1 click in. That would help him so much, but when Dennis is down as well, good shot from Speedy. I've got to say, that was a nice flick onto Waylander. But it still should be too late. He does have a kit, but in a 1-on-2 like this, there should be no way out. Gonna pick up Blade as well, and sneaking on past the bomb is quite far out in the open here, so very hard for him to defuse without Speedy just charging, or sorry, without Welder charging in on him, and there's the shot coming through. Good attempt from Speedy. I've got to say, he got closer than I thought he would have.
Both of the players who don't really get much recognition on the team, Dennis and Speedy, at least in this pistol, doing work. Those 2 kills from Dennis, that is huge. That really just kind of clobbered Flipside, stopped their push onto that B site. And while Waylander, we kind of expect him to deliver, however. So more good work from him. 19 kills on the board for him, 19, 1, and 8. 24, 1, and 8 for World Edit. Between the 2 of them, they've been doing the majority of the work here for Flipside.
Yeah.
And just a difficult situation for Shara right now. But now we're on the T side, and now, well, he should rather, especially with a strong start, start having an impact.
Oh, look at that shot from Nico. He has such a unique style with the deagle, and it's terrifying. I mean, again, we were pointing this out earlier, but he really is good with every weapon in the game, and they are ready for him, though. Not going to be a kill. He did get some damage in the Waylander, but I think if you showed me 100 different clips of someone using the deagle, there's quite a high chance I'd be able to tell you which of them was Nico, even without knowing the name of the player. Just, you know, anonymous clips. You could probably tell which one of them is Nico.
Yeah, there's like a brutality to them, to the way that he moves with it.
Yeah, and there's a way that he switches back and forth between the deagle and there's just a really particular style. It's almost like a signature thing. There are some players like that.
Could be a sickness as well.
Sickness, well, one that I wouldn't mind having if that's the case. I think I could probably tell you. I think the same would be true if you showed me clips of people spraying with Kjaerbye. I think I could always tell which one is Kjaerbye spraying.
Really?
He's got a very weird style. Dennis sneaking in, getting a kill. A little bit too fast, I think, with the flank there, but it might actually cause some trouble for Flipside here. But 25 seconds, Dennis picking up a UMP in the background. The bomb is going to be going down, and next, and Speedy trying to see if they maybe hold the line.
Well, that HE is going to be completely ineffective. Nice flash there to buy a little bit of time. But Speedy is holding up close with the 5-7, doing some considerable damage, actually. But Waylander is there to take him out, and it's all on Dennis now with the UMP. Picks up Blade, but Markaloff will be there for the instant trade. And that's just this. I mean, okay, well, here's the replay from Nico. Just quick shoulder peek, right? Boom. World edit, no chance. Nico showing him that, hey, you know, I can dig as well. But the main thing there is just the fact that, I mean, Flipside, sometimes they've shown this in the past as well, where it's like anti-ecos, they just play it so slow that eventually, like, the pistols get the drop on them.
Yeah, and that might have been what just happened. They certainly did lose a few too many players there. And 12-5 is the scoreline. Couple of flashes on Speedy, which I like, and Mousesports also going for a stack in the V bomb side, which I definitely like.
Get that chance play in there. Maybe somebody overextends from Flipside, or at least you can count on one player coming in from Flipside, because Flipside, in general, very consistent with their default plays, default styles. At least you're always going to have somebody trying to make some noise on one side of the map, at least. Now they realize, wait, okay, nobody's holding on plateau. Some information gained. Mousesports starting to rotate back through connector, but it's a bit too late. Just a second too late, in fact. Flipside hit the perfect timing. Waylander leading the charge up onto that A site, along with Blade. I mean, it worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, and with the grenades and everything, don't see them making their way through. They are trying their very best, but only Speedy picking up a kill. Now trapped in the corner, just trying to still knife him. It's time. It's definitely time to knife. It's definitely not time. Ends up going down. Speedy, I think, got to kill a Nico, though. So there's that.
That's good work. We're kind of giggling at each other, though. So, I mean, maybe no bad blood.
I was hoping I would have knifed.
Yes. Oh, you learned that. I mean, I was like, you always got to go for the knife. Disrespect all the way. And you know, the way, how you can justify it, though, is, you know, hey, man, I was low on money, needed $1,500. Come on.
There is that, right? The kill reward for that. 13-5 right now. Just 3 rounds from Flipside. Surely, Semler, surely they can close out this game.
I think that they should be able to not allow Mousesports to run it back. Like what happened on Train, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing on the CT side of Cobblestone. It's so hard to get that many rounds. Even though we did see Flipside do it, I feel like it's going to be a different story here. Kind of a nice setup between Chris and Nico over at the A-Long. I kind of like that setup just because I think there's a good chance that if Chris fights someone and he falls back, then if they're going to not check for Nico, I think it's unlikely. This position used to be popular, but it kind of went out of style.
Mm-hmm. What's so scary to me is that they're committing that bomb. Like, the scout is the bomb. Markaloff will eventually split. Manages to make his way down. Drop Nexus there to take out Waylander, however. That was in drop room as well. And well, now we're into a 4-on-4. The defense is still solid here on the A site. Although, as I say it, Chris J gets caught by Markaloff, who's just still lurking in the back lines. It's all on Nico now. And he can always make a difference. He will get caught in the end, though. They just spot him out. Shara with 2 kills. That's the rotators down. And Nico falls as well. Beautiful work from Flipside. Just the perfect split onto that A site.
How did they spot Nico to begin with? Did they jump initially before we saw it? Because it seemed like they were just taking some shots through and they actually hit him. But yeah, Shara with 2 good kills here. But I think Markelov actually opening up everything was maybe the main impact player of that round. 14-5. And moving into the 20th round here. And Mousesports just out of money.
Yeah, no, this not looking good for Mousesports now at this point. They have a long way to go. And so it is going to be the quasi, the half-buy basically. Pistols coming out, a couple of nades. And that's where Flipside are going to excel. That's where they can just fall back to a kind of very clean-cut strategy that they've used in the past where everybody's going to be comfortable. And it works versus Mousesports in that situation. Markelov now is the one who seems to be just delivering here for Flipside. Takes out Dennis. Late flash, but Shara spots the man moving up close. Doesn't want to get too close to next, though, because, I mean, well, the Deagle will hunt you down at any range, but you never really know. It could be a 5.7, a P250. If you walk up too close, that one-shot headshot range, you risk losing your gun.
Next, trying to use the newly made ramp there to his advantage. It's such a good idea, and it's so obvious that the way that the ramp works is you can do a lot of weird one-way smokes. I've already gone and checked out a bunch of them, but the problem is none of them really matter because they can all be countered with a Molotov to that stairwell. So that's my main concern. But there is a lot of fun tricks you could do at this side if you care to spend the time doing it. Chris and Speedy left though, and obviously with the bomb down and the fact that they don't have any money or any equipment, kind of a good reason for them to just chill for a moment.
Stay a while. And chill.
And chill. That was a good imitation. I like that though. Deckard Cain.
Deckard Cain isn't. I mean, it's. He's got to think Sean Connery, right? I guess. Pretty straightforward. Straight.
Oh man, they should make a new Diablo.
They should, dude. They messed up the last one. Are you kidding me? Do you really want them to make another?
Yeah, I'm just make Diablo 2.
It only took them what, like 2 years to even come close to fixing it.
Yeah, still pretty far from it, gotta say. Well, enough about that though. Chris does get a party shot on Waylander, not that it really has any impact on the game here. And speak of Waylander, he's got 23 kills, just 3 behind Worlded at 26, and there's nobody even on, I mean, if you take the 2 top players on Mousesports right now, combine them, they have as many kills as Worlded has on his own. That says something about the state that we're at right now for the Mousesports team. Just seems like a general sort of team meltdown at this point in time.
It's not looking good. It's definitely not. At least they stopped shouting at each other. So that's a plus. Maybe that isn't a plus though. Maybe they should be raising their voices, right?
I don't know. Yeah, that could work both ways, right? When you get to that point in an argument, you know, with your girlfriend, and she just doesn't say anything. That's not always good.
That is not a good thing.
That's not always a good sign. I'm just saying that much. Nico is all the way over at the A bomb site on his own with 4 men stacked in B bomb site. And Mousesports would need right now to win 10 rounds in a row to go into overtime and win that overtime. And Chris, I mean, 1 kill certainly in the right direction, just maybe like 1 percentage point closer to making it work.
This has not been Shara's day, at least on Cobblestone.
Or on Train.
Yeah, we're on Train. Shara's definitely struggling here. But still a winnable situation for Flipside. If World Edit can get into the play, Markelov with that AK, Waylander. They can definitely have an impact, and it seems like they're wrapping that bomb back towards A right now. 50 seconds left. Flipside have to be a little bit careful. They need to try and find something here before they run this clock down too low. Otherwise, Mousesports will have a pretty strong chance of just shutting them out here and starting to come back. Chris, though, going to get caught. Shot through the edge of the box. He survives with 7 HP. And Flipside, they're still here. 3 of them with that bomb, and Markelov finally going to commit to drop. But 30 seconds left, Anders. They really don't have much time.
It's very risky, but look at what Waylander snuck in. He's all the way in the A bomb side. Can they bring the bomb back here? They're not going to realize that Nico's in the smoke in the middle, and that could be lethal. Going to pick up the 1 kill on World Edit. There's a follow-up kill for Nico, making it a double. Markelov takes down 1 and 2. 15 seconds left. They need to get this kill quick. It's a 1-on-3 for Waylander, and as long as they just buy time, then he can't really make it. He doesn't even look that stressed. I think he's just realized there is nothing that I could do. Ends up going down. That was such a good idea. But the one thing they didn't realize is that Nico was in the middle. They thought as soon as Waylander gets the kill on the guy playing by truck, they feel like, okay, we got the A-bomb side, this is great. This position and the fact that he's hiding at the edge of the smoke, they just weren't expecting it. That won the round.
That was basically the difference maker. 92 ADR still from Nico. Guy just does work. round after round, but
it's such a... It's just one step out of very many still to come. Flipside still have money to buy, and there is at least a double up setup here on Mousesports, so you gotta try and see if you can find some level of enthusiasm here for Mousesports. Maybe. It certainly would be a very impressive comeback. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, one for the history books. It's not every day that you can run it back 9 rounds in a row. But Nico will pick up the 1-for-1 trade. And so now, I mean, Flipside, once again, they're very thorough. As always, Markaloff making sure that backstab can't actually work out. Chris J gonna miss the shot. Chris J completely caught off guard there, surprisingly enough.
And it looked to me like he was also running, which is just generally a horrific idea when you're playing in those hallways, because you've no idea where anyone is, but those footsteps can be heard quite far away, and that's a good way to give something up. Plus, he didn't need to run anywhere. No one was pushing on A. There was no immediate bomb plant or anything else like that, so I feel like that might have been a bit of a mistake. And that's Nico and Chris out of the round. Those are 2 of the best players right now on Mousesports. Not playing in this 3 versus 4. That's a big problem. Molotov gonna rain in to the event room there, and it's still gonna be very hard here. 30 seconds left. Markaloff picking up the 1 kill. Speedy and Nex are left, and Flipside 1 kill away from taking away Cobblestone in a very decisive manner. Mousesports, I mean, they did a great comeback on train, but this seems like there was never a chance in this matchup.
Not on this map, that's for sure. And, well, it was overtime on trade, so a lot of work yet to be done here for Mousesports, but it's 16-6, the final score. Flipside picking up the second map. It's been a bit of a balance, actually, between all of these teams today so far. 1-1 between Echo Fox and Na'Vi to start things off, and now 1-1 between Flipside and Mousesports.
Yeah, and I think if anything, Flipside are going to be thinking, well, damn, I mean, we could have probably won train. That was overtime, right? We could have been the first team to walk out with the 2-0 here. Very, very upsetting, I think, map for Mousesports, though. It seemed like there were some internal struggles there.
No doubt about it, but solid work coming in. Markaloff didn't really show up this map. It was more, World Edit.
Well, but he did have 18 kills, so he was just sort of somewhere in the middle of the pack. I mean, nothing flashy, but just doing some basic work. But obviously, yeah, World Edit and Wayland are doing way too much in this game.
A lot more work to do. But look at that. Blade will bring it back.